Hey everyone, welcome back. It's me, the part-time economist, and in today's video, we are going to be talking all about missing data in the R programming language. So I'm going to show you how to quickly identify missing data, and then I'll give you a couple different options for how you might want to handle that missing data. So maybe you just want to throw out the missing data. Maybe you want to fill all of the missing data with a certain value. Maybe you want to do mean or median imputation. Or maybe you want to do a really advanced imputation method. We are talking all about it. Let's go ahead and jump right in. The first thing you're going to want to do is pull the tidyverse into your workspace. Now, this is going to contain both the data set that we're working with and some of the functions that we'll be using later on. So the specific data set that we are going to be working with is the air quality data set. And what you'll notice is that this data set contains several NA values. Right now, this is a small data set. I think there's like 153 observations. We can quickly identify the missing values, right? But if we were working with a data set with thousands or tens of thousands of rows, it might be a little bit more difficult. We want to automate this, right? So there's a couple different ways that we can find missing values. Now, the easiest way that I can think of is simply by using the sum function. We're going to go to is.na. And then we're going to pass in the name of the data frame, so air quality. And what that is going to do is it's going to give us the total number of missing values in the entire data frame. Now, if we wanted a specific column, all we'd have to do is put the $sign and then select the column that we're working with. So temperature has none. I think ozone has some, so let's go with that. Ozone has 37, right? So that is one way of doing it. And again, there's lots of ways of doing this. If you already know what you're doing here, feel free to skip ahead. But we can also do colsum, C-O-L-S-U-Ms, and we're going to go with is.na. We're going to go with air quality. And what that is going to do, it's going to give us the count by each specific column. And then if you want a super easy way of doing it, you can also go with summary. Oops, we don't want that. We want summary. We want air quality. And that is going to give you the number of NAs, but it's going to do it as part of a broader summarization. And the reason I don't recommend this right off the bat, even though it's the simplest, is because what you'll notice is that if there are no missing values, right? So we're looking here, it's not explicitly telling us that there's not a missing value in the wind column, for example, right? So just keep that in mind. But in any case, let's suppose that you have indeed identified that there is missing data. How do you handle it from here? The thing I want to point out is that there are a lot of different ways of addressing missing data. They each have their advantages and disadvantages. It is up for you, based on the nature of your data, the purpose of your research, to decide the best way of handling this, right? I'm going to give you some of the tools, but again, you need to justify why you're using a certain method. Now, the simplest method is just, if there's a missing value, just throw it out of the data set, right? So let's go with air quality. And what we're going to do in this example, we are just going to simply do na.omit. And that is going to throw out all the missing values for us, right? So let's go ahead. Let me just save that as a temporary variable. We're going to save that as X. And now we're going to go with summary. summary. We're going to go with X. And what you'll notice is that we have no missing values because we literally threw them all out. Now, that can be problematic for a number of reasons, right? If we have a lot of missing values, we're throwing out a lot of data. If there is some kind of an issue where our data isn't missing at random, then we need to look at why specific data might be missing, right? But in any case, it is an option. It is available for you now. Another thing you might want to do is you might want to instead fill the data frame with a certain value, right? So let's suppose you absolutely 100% know that every single missing value should be 999, right? Like, I don't know why this is the case, but you know if a value is missing, it's because your instrument can't read the value 999, right? It's an example, just go with it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go with air quality. And again, we are going to pipe that into the mutate command, M-U-T-A-T-E. And what we're going to do now, we are going to mutate and we are going to create a column. So we're going to call it, let's suppose we're replacing the ozone column. We're going to go with ozone is equal to replace Na, and we're going to go with ozone, O-Z-O-N-E, and we're going to go with 44. Now what you're going to notice when we run that, up in the top right hand corner here, we go back to that 153 observations that we had in the original data set. When we look at the new data set, we see a lot of the number 44, or let me give you a better example here. I said it was going to be 999, so let me do that so we can make it a little bit more obvious here. And again, you see all of those 999s from where we just filled in that data set with a specific value. Now, I do want to point out that you can also do this across the entire data frame, right? So let's suppose not just in a single column, but everywhere in the entire data frame where something is missing, we just want to fill it with the number 999. We can absolutely do that. We can go with X and we can go with air quality. We can again use our pipe operator. We're going to go with mutate, but this time we're going to go with across because we want to fill for everything. We're going to go with everything. And from here, what we're going to do is we are going to enter the replacement function, how we want to fill these things. So we're going to use the tilde, and that is the symbol that lets us know we are working with an anonymous function. We are going to go with replace NA, and we're going to go with a dot, and then we're simply going to type 999. What that's going to do is across the entire data frame, it's going to fill those 999s. So let's see, I'm just looking through here to see there should be some 999s in the other columns. Yep, right there. So you see now it is filling 999s across every single column in the entire data set. Now, if we have some specific reason where we absolutely know that a missing value corresponds to a certain value, that might be an option, but in reality, that's likely to be somewhat uncommon. More than likely, we're going to want to use some kind of mean or median imputation. We can absolutely do that. So let's take a look at how we could do median or mean imputation using these functions. The good news is that we can absolutely do that. We're going to follow the same format. So we're going to create a temporary data frame. We're going to go with air quality. We are going to pipe that into the mutate command. And what we're going to do, we are going to say ozone is equal to replace Na. What are we replacing? Well, we are replacing the ozone column where it is empty, where it is Na. And what are we replacing that with? We are replacing it with the mean of ozone. And we're going to go na.rm equals true. Now, this is going to give us an error. It is going to give us an error, but I want to run it first so you see the basic syntax, because if our data frame was already in a double format, a numeric format, right, this would work perfectly. It's not going to run on our data set because it's stored as integers, right? So again, that's not an error with the code. That's an error with our data set. So the only thing we have to do first is go ozone equals as dot double dbl, and we're going to go with ozone. Okay. And now what you'll notice, our code runs. We still have 153 observations. And now when we load up X, what you'll see is that it fills it with that mean value. Now, you can see right here, right? That's where those weird decimals are coming from because, of course, the mean is a decimal number, which is why we had to convert. Now, we could just as easily do median. We could do that, MEDIAN. That would work. Now, mean and median imputation are kind of some of the most straightforward. They're some of the most fundamental. However, I do want to point out, if you need something more advanced, right? The R programming language, specifically the tidy models package, definitely gives you a way to do that. You can do imputation based off a ton of different methods, right? So KNN imputation, linear imputation. I think you can do like a bagged model imputation, right? So like if you need really advanced imputation, you can definitely do it. I don't want to cover that here because I've made videos in the past specifically about tidy models, but just know that if you need it, it is there for you. I hope this tutorial at least gave you the basics of what you need to get started. As always, thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and I will see you next time.